time is it? We're right almost at 12. So
I just resent out the link to Jennifer Johnson because she just switched companies. So hopefully she has
she did. Yeah, so she can hop on. Yay.
Yeah.
We were talking the other day. Hi, Michael Gutierrez.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. Michael's one of our speakers today with Workforce Solutions. I know people are coming on, and I think I'm going to let everybody, except for Michael and Connor, introduce themselves in just a minute. I think we'll wait and see if Jennifer hops on real quick. We're right coming up at noon. So I will let Jennifer hop on because it looks like, Ashley, it looks like we have pretty much everyone on, I think.
Yeah, we might have a later.
Okay. Well, it is noon, and to respect everybody's time, we're going to get started. So I want to welcome you all. So I think what I would like to do, because we have a small group today, is if you would like to introduce yourself, please do that. That way we'll kind of all know who we are. So I'm seeing some people. I don't know if everyone's on their video. And I'll say Connor and Michael, I'm going to introduce our two speakers today. But I'm Brenda James with Brenda James & Company, and also with Network in Action. Also a board member for the Greater Houston Women's Chamber. So happy to be here hosting this today. Ashley?
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Dietz. I am the Director of Events at the GHWCC. And this is our third series. As many of you know, it's been really special, I think, to watch you guys do this series. So thank you so much, Brenda and Connor. We've all gotten a lot from it, and I think it was really smart the way you set it up, a new topic every time. And thank you all that have been coming to a lot of these. It's great to be able to connect this way. And we're just really fortunate we can still keep going with events virtually, but we do have many opportunities through the chamber to connect on that as well.
Great, thanks Ashley, and thank you for all your help too. Susan?
Are you doing Susan Osterberg or Susan Dyson?
Oh, Susan Dyson.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am proud to be the CEO, President, and founder of the Greater Houston Women's Chamber. We are so excited to have Lone Star as our partner. I mean, they are amazing, whether it's a high school student or even a baby boomer like me. There's so many benefits that they provide for our business community, and we're excited to have this amazing panel together to speak. And I do want to say a special thank you to Brenda James. I mean, she has been an amazing leader from day one when we first started the chamber, and she is really a great role model for everyone else on the call to know that there are leadership opportunities within the chamber, and that we hope that you'll take us up on it. And again, I echo Ashley's thank you to Connor and Michael. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thanks, Susan. I appreciate that. Andrea, Joe, I see your mic's muted. Do you wanna say hello? You can unmute your mic.
Hi, yes, good afternoon, everyone. So my name's Andrea Koujo. I'm with Workforce Solutions, and I'm a business consultant. And so we do a lot of things to help the community out as far as on-the-job training. We help recruitment assistance and that sort of assistance we can offer as well. So I love just listening to everybody and learning new things that I can take with me to my employers that I consult with. So glad to be here, and thank you guys.
Well, welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Johnson? Do you want to introduce yourself? I know you've got a new company.
Oh, yes, thank you. I missed that part. Sorry. My name is Jennifer Johnson, and I am a concierge real estate agent with Douglas Elliman. I just made the move to Douglas Elliman from Keller Williams, and it is exciting. Very strong.
Jennifer, we need to get an article from you, and we'll do an announcement in our newsletter.
Oh, thank you. I think they're supposed to be writing something up. I haven't seen it yet, but thank you. I'll send it over. That's sweet.
Absolutely, she does a great job. I love all the added value things that Jennifer adds and brings to the table. So she's amazing. Tracy Kohler, do you want to introduce
Hi,
yourself?
yes, this is Tracy. I'm sorry, I'm having video issues, so that's why you just have my name. But I'm Tracy from Kindred Houston Northwest Hospital.
Oh, great. Thanks, Tracy, for joining us. We're glad you're here.
Tracy, do we have Brenda have Tracy on our list for the North Houston area? We might need to add her. Ashley, is she on there?
I'm not sure, but now you will be, Tracy. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you.
That's what you get for joining the meeting. There's MG. I'm not sure who that is. The participant screen is just showing someone named MG. If you want to introduce yourself, you can unmute your mic. There you go.
MG would be Michael Gutierrez.
Michael Gutierrez. I'm sorry, Michael. Okay, well, I'll get it. Okay, well, you can go back, Michael. I'm going to introduce you in just a minute. Michael's one of our speakers, so I'm actually going to introduce him. Susan Osterberg, would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to see you all. I am a professor at the University of Houston, but I also have a citrus business in Florida. And I am always interested to know if there are things that we all can do better. So I'm
How
so
do we not know about that, Susan? That's something I just learned. Oh my gosh, we need to do a story, an article on it.
Yeah.
We'll get with you later.
Okay, that sounds great.
Great. And the only other person I see is Jordan Dean from the Greater Houston Women's Chamber. Jordan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. So glad to be here. I am the Communications Director for the GHWCC. We have an awesome newsletter of events that go out on Wednesday and where we spotlight our members and businesses on Friday with the connection. We work really hard to increase everyone's visibility, and we also have an awesome opportunity right now for businesses to promote their services by sponsoring some of our chapter events and by maybe purchasing website banner ads on our GHWCC website. And you can also sponsor one of the corners of our section on the newsletter. So congratulations to Jennifer. So good to see you. It's been a while. Congrats on the new job. Please send us your stories. We love spotlighting you, and we'd love to help drive your business by helping you get an ad on our website or in the connection.
Thanks, Jordan. And you guys do a great job on that. So if you're not signed up for the Greater Houston Women's Chamber's newsletter, please do that, ghwcc.org, and get some more information, because I have to say, it really is a great newsletter. They do a great job on that. All right, well, we're going to get started because we know that there may be a lot of questions with great information to cover today. I just want to welcome you again. Thank you all for joining us today. Again, this is the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce and Lone Star College System. We've partnered together to bring you what is now part 3 in our small business series, Leading Through COVID, Workforce Solutions for Your Business. So that's our topic today. And today we're going to be discussing fast-track training opportunities and resources available to the recently unemployed and small businesses looking to customize training for their current or future employees. There's a large amount of state and local support available to help train workers, especially those interested in a high-demand field or who can show financial need. So if you would, please go ahead and mute your mics. We will have Q&A at the end of the program, and you can type questions in the chat at any time. So now I'm going to introduce Connor O'Sullivan. He is the Executive Director of Career and Technical Education for the Lone Star College System. His department has offices at each of Lone Star's 7 campuses that facilitate fast-track training for students to quickly certify for in-demand workforce careers across a range of different occupations. His department also teaches courses in English as a second language, high school equivalency, leisure learning for seniors 50 and up, and summer youth camps. Connor is a native of the Woodlands, Texas, and graduated from Texas A&M University before embarking on a 7-year career as an infantry officer in the United States Marine Corps. He's married to Morgan S. Sullivan and the proud father of 2 girls, Michaela and Ellie. So also with us today is Michael Gutierrez. Michael is the Special Project Manager for Workforce Solutions, Employer Services Division. He's been an HR workforce professional with Workforce Solutions for over 11 years, working with industries ranging from construction to oil and gas. Michael has helped manage and put back to work hundreds of workers displaced by mass layoffs that have occurred in the Houston area and surrounding counties. In Michael's role as Special Project Manager, he specializes in helping employers tap into resources to upskill their current staff by utilizing on-the-job training, apprenticeships, work-based learning, and current worker training funds. So, Connor and Michael, thank you both for being here. I know you have a lot of great information and resources to share. So, Michael, I'm just going to ask you to start us off.
Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Hopefully, can y'all see the presentation on the board?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We can.
Thank you. I wanted to discuss some ways that a lot of employers are out there looking at achieving success through talent development. I know for some companies, they call it upskilling. There's other companies that call it, like Andrea mentioned, on-the-job training. So I wanted to just kind of give a glimpse of some of the services that Workforce Solutions can provide you, and then allow Connor to come on and talk about some of the great things that they're doing in the college systems that's pairing up directly with what we're doing. So I want to start off about on-the-job training. Now, this is one of the special services and resources that some employers have taken advantage of, and it provides employers with partial reimbursement for an employee's hourly wage, offsetting the cost of hiring. So to give you an example, reimbursement can be up to 50% of the hourly wage for positions paying $12 or more, and it caps off at $20. So if you have somebody that's working for you, let's say they're working for you for $15 an hour, we can find a way to pay 50%, reimburse you 50% of those wages for a period of that training time, which is normally up to about 400 hours. It applies only to full-time positions that are meeting requirements of a minimum of 30 hours per week. But what makes this really an opportunity that's special is that this is kind of the basis that helps you fill entry-level positions as you propel individuals out to a higher opportunity, or you're upskilling your staff. And that's one of the things that we often hear from our employers as we're outreaching to them. I don't have time to train them. I have to train them on the job. Well, let's go ahead and create a relationship between on-the-job training. Work-based apprenticeship. Work-based apprenticeship is one of those programs that we really took a look at identifying where employers were suffering. We knew on-the-job training could help train individuals, but we were often running into, in industry roundtables, employers that were constantly talking about stealing each other's candidates. There was often conversation about individuals that were increasing their salaries to steal competition from another. To give you a vision of this, we had a roundtable with transportation experts where we brought in the trucking industry just to hear what was going on with them. We often heard that there was a need for individuals and workers to be trained into those fields, but we couldn't understand with so many educational places that offer those trainings, where were we still missing? So we brought those groups together, and as we bring them into the room, they're having conversations with each other such as, that's the company that stole my last guy. That's the company that stole my loader. And as they're having that conversation, it turned friendly in the sense of they were all realizing that we're all fishing out of the same pool, and nobody was interested in restocking the fish. Everybody was just interested in taking, or taking what you had on your line. So we really wanted to identify a way that we could help build those pools. So we talked to our local board, and we took a look at building federal apprenticeships that are appreciated nationwide. And now for most of us, and I may be showing my age, but when we grew up, apprenticeships were tied into blue collar employment. And that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing any opportunity that allows somebody to come in and receive education and curriculum and training on the job. So it's what's really cool about apprenticeship is, let's say we start an apprenticeship model, which we will hold you by the hand and walk you through the process. Once we start walking through that apprenticeship model, we will say, hey, you know those 4 individuals that you're bringing on to get the on-the-job component for your apprenticeship model, now they qualify for 70% reimbursement for up to 640 hours. So you basically took that OJT and you maximized it. So that's one of the caveats that some employers that are starting apprenticeship programs or using a school's apprenticeship model, because you can also do that as well. You don't have to start your own apprenticeship. But rather than drown you with details, I'm looking for us to connect after this call. And if there's any of these services or resources that you're interested in, I want to be able to direct you in the right way, or at least let you know where some starting points are. The next work-based learning opportunity I want to talk about is paid work experience. And to help employers typically understand, because they often ask, what's the difference between OJT and paid work experience? The difference is that for work experience, we pay the salary at 100%. So there's no reimbursement. There's no check that you give the employee first and then we give you a check. We will hold them on our unemployment insurance for that paid work experience time. And what makes this even cooler is that if you put them through paid work experience and you say, you know, there's still some elements to the job that I need them to learn, we can start with paid work experience where you take somebody with almost a zero a resume that's not even at a level of receiving a job. You help them get work experience and you say, there's still some technical avenues we still need to go down. We can, after paid work experience, pair it up with OJT. So think about that. You're having 100% of that salary paid for a chunk of time. And then you're having 40% of their salary reimbursed. It's a win-win situation for anybody looking at really bringing individuals on to their jobs. And we're really seeing a lot of companies take advantage of this. I think before COVID-19, the cinemas were really involved in it. There was a lot of hospitality places that needed to have extensive trainings with customer service. They were all part of the paid work experience program. So we're really looking at how we can help some employers right now that are looking at how to find financial solvency with resources out there. And this is one of them, paid work experience. And like I said, we can go into detail. If you give me a call, we can talk about this one-on-one. Andrea is also a business consultant in your local area that can help guide you. But we just really want the community to find out about some of these services that they may not have as much access to. Current worker training. I know some of you are asking, well, I don't need to hire anybody right now. I need to know how to train my current staff. And Connor and I were getting into some discussions on the resources that are really out there to cover all of these trainings. And I think when we dug down to it, we kind of figured, well, if you can't cover that, maybe we can cover that part of the training and then you can cover this part of the training. So I want you guys to know that we're really identifying resources and how we bring those together. But incumbent worker training is essentially you taking individuals that need to be upskilled, whether it's soft skill training or, you know, some of us call it essential workplace skills, or a technical training that they truly need. The employer will select the training provider. Maybe it's a training provider that you work very closely. Maybe it's Connor and his team. After we select the training provider, we start identifying how Workforce Solutions pays the share. And it's all based on how big your company is. If your company is a big employer with more than 100 employees, Workforce Solutions will contribute up to 50% of the total cost of the trainings. If the employer is 51 to 100 employees, 51 to 100 employees, we will go up on that cost to about 75%. We will cover total cost coverage. And then, of course, if you have 50 or below, we will cover 10% of the projected project costs. And what makes this really, really cool is that for most employers, they will take care of their match, their contribution, just by paying the individuals that they're putting through training while they're on the job. So an example of that would be is that if somebody is taking 3 to 4 hours of training in incumbent worker training, you could pay them those 4 hours, and that will contribute to your match, and it's a win-win, and the employee is more likely to attend those trainings. So this current worker particular training can work with us. It can work with the community college system. I know Connor is going to come on and talk about how we can complement each other in these roles. But there's just a lot of these services and resources most employers do not know that they are available for. Most think that they have to be extremely affected by COVID, or they have to be in perfection with financial solvency. And that's not the case. We're really taking a look at how these resources can benefit employers, maybe even an employer that got in line to receive some type of loan and they couldn't get that loan. Well, these are other ways that we can financially take care of some things that you're dealing with in your locations. I just want to make sure that the current worker training is really understood, and it's essentially you coming to myself or to anybody at Workforce and say, I'm an employer with this problem. And now it doesn't have to be on our menu of services. It can be something that you just realize that you have a problem with. At that moment, we'll take your issue, create a proposal, and ask TWC for funding to unlock training dollars for you. So it is a process. It is a process where we'll have to get in some good conversation with the employer, but it's well worth it. Recently, we helped an oil and gas company that was transitioning workers into SharePoint. And for those that are using SharePoint now, or any of these Teams or Zoom, sometimes it's like foreign language. So we had a lot of individuals that were drone operators, and they were individuals in different parts of the company in engineering groups that just could not understand how this SharePoint was going to overtake any of the other databases that they had. But nevertheless, in order to continue to communicate with international companies that are using SharePoint, we had to train, I think it was a total of 20 individuals. Now, these 20 individuals were trained at their local college nearby. The college did create curriculum for them. As a matter of fact, I think they created some type of curriculum where they were able to go sometime on site and sometime at the college. But it was one of those relationships where all of those job seekers, they all accomplished that training. They took these classes together. And like I said, they were paid as they went to these trainings. And this is an oil and gas company that has a lot of people. So no matter how big or how small you may feel that you are to qualify for these services, I said, let's just get the conversation rolling and see where we can plug you in. But I get excited about current worker training because for some of us that are in employment opportunities, sometimes you wonder, where does the road stop? Is this the end? Does somebody have to vacate a position for me to get that level? And even if you do get that position, what guarantees that you've had all those trainings there? So we're really helping employers identify how we build their lineage of who's next. So if you're interested in current worker training, I'd love to talk to you about it. Now, this is another piece of training that's close to my heart. It's soft skills and employability skills training. And I want you to know right off the bat, this takes no proposal. This takes no addendum or for us to get together and decide how we train. You let us know. I have individuals that are dealing with conflict management. I have individuals that are dealing with communication issues. I have a couple of people that are dealing with effective time management. I have some individuals that are trying to get this working from home thing situated. We will bring our facilitators on board and give a session via Zoom to your individuals at any time that you need it. We worked with a couple of employers, one of them out in the Columbus area they're an air conditioner manufacturer, and they just really needed to take their safety to the next level. And they felt like the group that was giving the safety talks, they were their friends. They went to lunch with them, so they weren't taking them as serious. So we got our facilitators together, learning what their security points were, what their safety issues needed to be covered, and we developed curriculum hand in hand with them. We developed the curriculum and they approved it. That's how much we really dig in there. And then we were providing that for them at 5:30 in the morning at the beginning of some of their shifts. We also took a look at an employer that was really having some issues with, it was a local news station where they were having problems with their reporters and problems with their news anchors not agreeing on things. And there was a lot of derogatory language and passive aggressive languages. And it started to be able to be viewed on the news. So we had to take a look at some curriculum that really talked a bit about conflict management. And I think we even dipped in generational, how to respect different generations. So this takes nothing but you to say, Mike, on July 25th, I need you and your facilitators to get together with me and 10 of my individuals, and we're going to discuss how to make them a better communicator or how we're going to fix this conflict management. The only thing that we ask is, like through any education resources, whether you go into a community college system, whether you're coming and receiving funding dollars or training staff from the state, we have to track this stuff. We have to know who received it. And usually it's through the form of a social security number. So it's very important to understand that if we are taking 15 individuals and are training them in conflict management, training them in communication, which is a little tip for some employers. If you have anybody that you ever have to let go because of effective time management, now you have on the books that you have taken the time to give in all of your staff that effective time management, those effective time management courses, and you have proof because they are registered with the state in case they ever try to apply for unemployment. So I want you guys to know that there's just plenty of trainings that we have on the shelf already, but we take pride in knowing that we can customize almost any training to your needs. Of course, if it's a training out of our ballpark, there's some trainings, like if there's an employer that wants to take a look at sexual harassment in the workplace, things of those nature, we may want to contract out to a vendor or find another partner that specializes in things of that nature. But when it comes to communication, conflict management, effective time management, we can take care of all of that for you immediately. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear from any of the employers out there, or a challenge. Do you have any of your partners, your HR partners, that are venting to you saying, hey man, I just got to get a handle on this? Let them know, let's get connected, and we can definitely take care of them. And one of the final pieces that I want to talk about, and it kind of really leads into Connor and his team, is adult education, literacy, and that's just tremendously important. Another piece to my job is that I often work with board members to entice businesses, whether it's with the Greater Houston Partnership, whether it's with local EDCs, to convince the employers that Houston is where they need to be, or the surrounding counties. And the majority of time, some of the data that we often run are education levels, or the individuals that have the abilities to speak dual languages. And that can often affect whether a company decides to land here or in Dallas, decides to land here or in El Paso, or in we've seen most recently Louisiana. We're competing for a lot of that petroleum work that's flowing back and forth. But as we take a look at what our demographics looks like locally, we got to really get on the ball helping individuals take it to that adult education level, helping them get those official high school equivalencies, or really increase their English fluency. I know that the vendors and the different colleges have really worked with us on this. Some have taken a look at how could they even train family members, people in that family, because they're well aware that if they do not practice that the English at home, it's not going to get picked up at the workplace. So we're really taking a look at how we can take that individual that may only be comfortable enough to take that janitorial position because they speak very minimal English, and man, their supervisors speak Spanish, so they're good where they need to be. Or it could be on an assembly line, but yet this individual has taken classes at one time or another that could propel them into that next level, but they just don't have that English fluency down. I want you to take a look at how Workforce Solutions or the community college system can help your staff gain those key components, because it affects how business is done in Houston. I don't think this is paid attention enough. I think most of us don't really even take a look at this unless we have workers that are dealing with that. But I want to make sure that this affects the whole line of industry. So if we can really help as many individuals that are struggling, whether it's gaining their high school equivalency or just English, that's the key. I do want to end it with this. A couple years back, we were dealing with a bunch of individuals that were getting laid off from NASA, the aerospace industry. Some of these individuals were on board since the Apollo took off to space, and some of them received a job before they even received their GED or diploma. So they were comfortable. They've been working at NASA, and they've been grandfathered or grandmothered in as long as they've worked there. And when they went through the layoffs and when the shuttle program ended, a lot of these individuals were just so scared because they didn't have that educational component behind them. So we really did have to talk to some of those, some that worked on software on the shuttle that just didn't have that component that we were able to help connect and really take to that next level. There's also a local food processing plant that wanted more for their staff. The majority of their staff only spoke Spanish. They started by doing workplace English, helping them learn workplace English, and that just snowballed into them and their families getting trained. So you can do just some amazing things with the resources and the services that we have here. And I just wanted to make sure that all of our partners, especially anybody affiliated with the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce, to know that these resources are available to you immediately as you speak. And at this moment, I want to see if we can turn it on over to Connor.
Well, thank you, Michael. And yeah, I'm going to touch on a lot of those points because we work very closely with those. But as I get my slides loaded up, I want to make sure everybody, what we really want to share, I guess, is that there's just so many resources available out there to help people right now. It seems like, times are tough for so many. And really, though, there is a lot out there to help. And that's all I get. There's people to help, there's staff to help. And we're spending a lot of time figuring out how do we connect people with these resources, and so that they know that we have probably what they've been looking for and a way to, if not pay for all of it, at least offset the cost to them so they can be successful here. We had a great presentation last week from the head of the Lone Star Small Business Development Center, and Miguel Lopez, and he had said that a lot of businesses really launch or get started in downturns like this because they see an opportunity and they have the time and effort and idea to go after it. And at Lone Star, we do a lot that can probably help you get there. So my name is Connor Sullivan. I'm with the Office of External Employee Relations at Lone Star College, which is led by our Chancellor, Dr. Stephen Head, who has been with us for over 35 years and really cares about a fiscally responsible model of training students and ensuring access to all of them. So when I thought about community college and when I was getting out of the military, I didn't realize just what Lone Star did, even though I took a class here, summer of one of my schools, and we're really big. We're all over North Houston and off-site locations, and we're one of the top 3 biggest community colleges in the country. We have almost just over 7,000 employees, and you can see here kind of where we're at the moment. We have our 7 main campuses, which are located as far, we have our Cy-Fair campus. We go all the way as far east as our Atascocita Center and our Process Technology Center, as far south as the North Houston Greens Point area, and then we have classes all the way up in Huntsville. So we're pretty big, and we probably have something in your area, and if we don't, we can probably get someone there. Between whether it's our main colleges, our centers of excellence, which focus on specific customized training. And we're also very diverse. So, a big topic lately is helping to diversify your workforce. Well, I think we actually had, we had an article in the Houston Chronicle recently about how we had actually the most Hispanic graduates in the country from Lone Star College. And you can see that our student demographics come from a wide range and mirror the population of Houston pretty well, in our opinion. So I used to think about community college as just a 2-year college that you then go onto a 4-year institution, or you just get your associate's degree and you go to work. And for 60% of our students, that is what they do. But we have, along with this, our workforce certificates, which focus on specific industries, specific careers, in both and they're stackable. So you can get a level 1 or a level 2. You can get your level 1 and go to work. You can come back to us and get your level 2 and go back to work. Or you can get all the way to your Associate of Applied Science, and that can even, or if you don't have the time for that, you can come to my department, which runs our fast track certificates. And we focus on just the skills they need, teach them as quickly as possible, make it offered a flexible amount of times. A lot of our classes are in the evenings, a lot of them are on the weekends, a lot of them work in the mornings for people who work in the afternoon. And we offer a variety to make sure they can come, or maybe just do them on site there where they're being held. And you can take a stackable degree and even take it all the way to your bachelor's degree. If that's in nursing, in a skilled trade, you can learn management for that trade, or energy. So if you've got a associate in oil and gas, or welding, or manufacturing, you can get your bachelor's degree there. Or if you got your associate in cybersecurity, you can now get a Bachelor of Applied Technology in cybersecurity. So we offer a lot in all of these different areas. You know, this is just a small sample of what is located at lonestar.edu/programs to kind of see what it is we offer. It's over 200 workforce degrees, certificates, and fast-track training. And if we don't have it, we can probably make it. If you have something that doesn't fall into any of these categories, we have a whole team of customized instructional designers that can help you find what your business or workforce needs. We have 6 new centers that are coming up and are being built all over the city to focus on manufacturing, to focus on energy, to focus on skilled trades and process technology for turning oil and gas products into usable products like plastics and other items, to focus on technology, transportation and logistics, such as and truck driving, and then our building service center has not yet been completed yet. Which leads us to my department, where we handle all of these. We have a little piece of all of these that we can run you through a class anywhere. I think our shortest class is a week, and our longest class is 2 years, and everything in between. And that 2-year class is for if you have a bachelor's degree and want to learn how to teach, and you want to get paid for one of those years as an intern. That is something we offer, where you can come to us for a year, and then we help you find a job in teaching so you can complete your state license and certification. But you can see the piece there in the top right, what Michael mentioned, which was our adult education and literacy. And we have over 2,000 students a year come to us for free training in ESL at multiple levels to get their high school equivalency, which a lot of people know as GED, but there's more beyond just the GED they can do to become a U.S. citizen. And even beyond that, we then have money available through that grant where we can send them to developmental education on the weekends and then workforce training during the week. So they get those basic skills maybe they missed out on in terms of math or science or English or language arts, and then they come and learn a skill with us or a trade with us. We have people in dental assisting and in nurse assisting and something known as phlebotomy, which is where they draw blood from you. And we even have some things in my department that focus on the youth and the seniors. So we have our Academy for Lifelong Learning, where you can take leisure classes with us for $25 all year. And you can take those both online in the fall, and hopefully participate. We'll go back to doing those in person. And we have over 1,200 classes they teach, everything from history to arts and crafts to senior physical activities. Chair yoga is a popular one. And then our summer camp, which was online this year, called Discovery College, focuses on STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, and math, and will hopefully be coming back to campus next summer. So you can see just a sort of deeper dive on what we teach here in the different certifications we offer: Lean Six Sigma, project management, Amazon Web Services, Google, Cisco, CompTIA. If you've heard of it, we probably offer it, and if we don't, we can probably offer it soon. As well as our National Council of Construction Education Resources programs for a number of construction trades. So we offer these a lot of different ways, a lot of different methods, but I really want to hit on something we do with our corporate college. So Lone Star's corporate college is, when I mention customized training, this is where it lives. They have over 160 standard classes they do. They go all over the city. They offer forklift training and ESL over at the Dyke & Goodman factory. They offer specialized training for the Houston Fire Department and EMT. They offer all of this stuff. They do it quickly, they develop it quickly, and they try to partner with the Small Business Development Grant that's done through TWC to try to help offset that cost to the employer. I think that one's specifically a 50-50 match. But we can also work with you on the current worker training project, as well as apprenticeship programs. They have an apprenticeship that works with our manufacturing technician program, which we call mechatronics. There's really a huge amount of stuff that we can do. And we have a team, example I'd offer is we were approached a few weeks ago asking about contact tracing. And because of the current COVID-19 crisis, the city needed to plus up on contact tracers in order to follow up on those positive COVID tests. In just a few weeks, we were able to put together a program, get the idea for it, the budget, and then really get to work. And it's going to take about 20 more days, and we'll have the curriculum laid out. But we showed them this is what other schools are doing. This is sort of the other programs we've seen or what the CDC has recommended. And the city said, yeah, that looks good. But we also really like the idea of making this person sort of an ambassador to the communities, making them trusted in the communities to help really talk to different groups about what this disease does, how it spreads, how to protect yourself. So we said, yeah, we can build that in too. So we started talking about how to do more public speaking, how to do more customer service and the follow-up, and really the empathy that is needed in that position to really relate with somebody who's probably going through maybe one of the scariest things they've ever gone through, and then helping talk to them and gain their trust so they feel comfortable sharing you know, who it was they also might have impacted and how to get in touch with them. So that's just an example of kind of something that really hasn't been done before, that hasn't been on the radar of many people. And we can probably do that about 30 days is probably start to finish what that project's going to be, to get it up and running and get students in there. We also have advisory councils. We make sure all of our programs are driven by advisory councils yourself. So if you or someone you know in this area is interested in helping drive the education that students are going out and getting after high school, or, you know, most of our workforce students are in their 30s because they did whatever they were doing for a few years and realized they wanted a higher paying, a better paying career, and come back to us at that point. And you know who might want to take part in these, please let me know, and we'll get you connected and see if there's a spot available on one of these councils, so we can find out what do people need today. You know, not what people used to do, but what do they need tomorrow, that we can make sure that we're training that in our curriculums to students. And then these are also just a small sample of some of our partners or in our council membership that take part and let us know what they need in their workforce. Also, we have live job postings that go out to the students. So if you are having trouble filling a position, this is a program that we have that looks at current economic data and students' access to see, hey, I'm about done, I'm about ready to graduate, or I'm thinking about this program. I want to see who's offering jobs there. And we can post your jobs right there where the students can see information about the career path, and then immediately click over one tab and see, oh, here's some jobs in Houston right now for that career I was thinking about. Maybe I should major in this, or they're about done with their degree and say, maybe I should apply. And we can add any job postings you have to that portal to make sure students see it, you know, right there before they've even left school. So these are a couple of things I really want to share, though, which we do to really help our students find funding. These are our two most commonly leveraged items. One is the Texas Public Education Grant, which is a tuition waiver that goes towards any students that can demonstrate financial need. So, you know, I would say whether they're current work at your company or, you know, with the hard decisions getting made all over the country right now, if they've recently been laid off and come in underneath the federal barrier, what the cutoff is for income level. And that's, you know, we can help you figure that out. It's a different number based on if you're a single person household, if you're a household with children, 4-person household. But we actually still have about $100,000 that we're trying to spend for this by September 1st, when our fiscal year ends. So if you know somebody that you think qualifies on an as-needed basis for that, please let us know, and we can waive up to 100% of their tuition with this program to let them just take one of our classes. This is our most, I guess, broad program in terms of what they can apply for, because we don't have any demand needs. It doesn't have to be specifically on a high demand, high growth list. But if you are interested in something that's on a high demand, high growth list, which I think would probably appeal to anybody, especially if you've been displaced recently, we like to try to connect through our office that handles Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act that we call WIOA. And that is a program targeted at recently displaced workers and that's a really good one because it helps pay for their educational costs. It helps pay for some of their other needs, such as uniforms or work boots or books. And that can, if they're on a program list that would include our project management or Six Sigma or any sort of welding, pipe fitting, a lot of our manufacturing skilled trades, they could be on that list and get funding for those high growth jobs to get back to work and maybe earning more than they ever had previously. So if they got laid off in the current situation, they might be able to get a higher paying job that's going to be much harder for them to get laid off on again in the future, and that might be a good comfort for them. Or if they have a bachelor's degree, we can actually pay for teacher certification for the state through this as well. Another good resource we have is actually pretty neat. We were approached by the band Metallica that is funding community colleges around the country, whose one thing they want to say was, we want to help with those hard costs. They pay for up to $1,000 in their tuition and fees. They can also help pay for all the sort of little things that come with college, whether it's the testing or their work shirts, their daycare, their textbooks. One thing that's not included here is transportation. We're helping students pay for bus tickets and cab fare who are getting their nurse aid certificate last year. So we're trying to help them pay. We have some students that are using this right now to learn how to be welders, to learn how to be sterile processing technicians. And it's really neat what they do. And that's a little bit more flexible. So if you know someone that might be interested in being a dental assistant, a nurse aide, a manufacturing technician, or a truck driver, please let us know. We'll get in touch with them and see if we can help get them some money for their school or their wraparound costs. And then this is a really, really great one. And I know Michael is familiar with this because we partnered with Workforce Solutions on this one specifically. But we have a program called Field Service Technician through the Texas Industry Partnership in conjunction with Baker Hughes that has 8 spots available right now in August for 100% free. They can come learn to be a field service technician, and which is mostly focused on oil and gas, but translates to other skills as well. They can get their tuition and fees, all their other costs paid for. The whole thing is paid for by Texas Workforce Commission. Just let us know. And we have 8 spots in August, and the next 8 is in September, I believe. So if you know anybody out of work or just interested in that, and likes to work with their hands and do those technical things, please let us know. We can put them in school in just a few weeks. As well as other various funding from Texas Workforce Commission. Again, I think Mike will probably hit on a lot of these, but we can help out with the Skills for Small Business and a few other benefits to employers that Michael mostly touched on. So thank you, I appreciate it. I hope that we're able to get these resources out to the right people. And now happy to answer any questions you might have or that we can answer that you might not have asked before.
I think there was one question in the chat I saw, and Michael, it was when you were speaking about whether or not the on-the-job training was also available for software, and I believe it is, but I'll let you answer that.
Yes, it can be included with software training or included for software training. And I know there's not a requirement of keeping a newly trained employee for a period of time, but you definitely want to look at sustainability. Somewhere across the line, at any moment, if you want to take part of TWC funding, they often want to know, unless it's expressed initially that this is only a contract opportunity, they're going to want to know, did those trainings provide retention? So I think it's really important that we just identify what's the right program. Maybe it's work experience that you want to have come on and train, because work experience, we expect those individuals not necessarily to stay with the company. The company's just providing those work experiences. So I think on a consulting call, we would typically sit down and identify what's the ultimate outcome. What are we really looking for?
Okay. Did you have something to add, Connor?
Excuse me. I'll just say that, yeah, I mean, if any questions like that, whether it's software training or requirements, you know, if you call us and just talk to us, we can probably figure something out or some way to get you that training. We had a call recently where someone just said, I'm having trouble filling this position, and reached out to me. And not only do we talk about how we can help get word out to our students that would be filling that position, but we also talked to them about, well, what about your current workers? Do you need help with those? And they said, well, yeah, we have trouble in these areas. Well, we told them we can come on site, we can connect you to TWC and ask if there's a way we can offset that. You know, they were asking for something that we'd never offered before. And I just said, well, we never offered it, but what would you like them to do? And they sent me a list, and I forwarded that list on to the person for that area. And we're trying to start, it's a major hospital that was, their education person contacted me, and we're trying to, you know, in August start, not go all the way from, hey, here we don't have anyone here, can you hire them? And then maybe give them a day off on Friday, and we'll meet them downstairs at the hospital in a room, and we'll train them on the next level of skills. So it really is cool just how far we can really take the pipeline and do new stuff. It really, I would encourage anyone who you think might need this or might have an idea like this to, or have a concern, just call, and you'd be impressed with what we can do.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I've been within the staffing industry for 30 years, and that was such a huge deterrent to getting people hired, was maybe they just didn't have that exact skill set or something that they needed. So I think it's fascinating and amazing that you guys have so many resources and opportunities available. And I'm curious, for those of you on the call, or if I'd love to just take a poll if you'd weigh in, and feel free just to speak or let me know that most of you on the call aware that Workforce Solutions and Lone Star College have these programs or services available? Jennifer, were you aware of that? No?
Yeah, this has been very eye-opening.
Yeah. Andrea, were you aware?
Yeah, no,
She sells them.
no.
She's
Oh,
our
Andrea
partner.
knows. I'm sorry. You're on my screen. I'm like, excuse me. So yeah, you're aware. Obviously, you know that. Anybody else? If you're not, it's just amazing. But this also, I want to leave this open to questions as well. If you have any questions after you've heard all that, yeah, feel free just to go ahead and ask.
So, Michael, on the workforce training, does an employer have to sponsor someone to receive the training for the, for Lone Star to be able to provide the service, or is that what the grant comes through the employer?
If they're a current worker, you're technically the sponsor. You're providing them the place of employment.
But if they're not, because we have a lot of people that have been laid off, or just if we could direct them somewhere and they don't have an employer sponsor.
Correct. We're going to want to direct them to Workforce Solutions, their local office, because there's a couple things that can happen. First of all, we want them to really identify, now that they're not necessarily tied into employment, what do they really want to do? Let's assess their skills. Let's identify the labor market right now and find out what's the next entry point. So that's going to be the first thing I'd want anybody to do, including my own family members, if they're ever involved in a layoff. The second thing I would like them to do is to become familiar with what services they now qualify for at Workforce Solutions, because they have gone through a layoff. There's funding that opens up tremendously, no matter if you are a news anchor or whether you're a forklift driver, that occurs because you've been laid off. So it's also that opportunity for you to take those moments, identify skills that you need to get and go get them. So I would advise that they take a look to see where the nearest office is to them. And if they have an issue finding out where's the nearest office, just drive them my way. And I can leave my phone number and email in the group chat.
When you say find that office, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, go ahead. No, go ahead, Brenda.
I was just going to ask Michael, when he said find that nearest location, are those locations open physically right now?
Yeah, they're available by phone. They're available by phone, and you can actually have somebody come by our office and use the internet in the parking lot. So we just don't want anybody to have a reason why they can't apply. So we have been telling them to identify their local Workforce Solutions and reach out to them. We are going to have some offices. We were scheduled to have some offices open as early as next week, but because of the spikes that we've recently seen, we just got to reassess that plan. So, but if you called the Katy office right now, somebody would answer. So they can still guide you to those resources or identify how you can get them via Zoom call or via some contact via email.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Susan. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was just going to say that I think Michael and Connor too as well, that maybe if we had a short presentation and come to our board, because I believe there's probably a lot of our board members that probably didn't have the opportunity to be on a web call or a Zoom call to understand. But and I know, Michael, that you're all over the area, but Connor, I know you showed the map of your service area, but you can serve somebody anywhere. Is that right?
Well, especially through online, we can do that. But, we have off-site training we do, all over the city. I think we have a few things downtown. We're doing something, trying to come up with the downtown library at one point. I mean, even our AEL stuff for ESL, I mean, we partner with, for example, the Huntsville Library. We train ESL classes there. I mean, really, let us know. The challenge is, I guess, finding the instructor. If we have an instructor nearby, or they're able to work that schedule, or we need to find a new one, we'll probably make it work.
Yeah. And I know you said you go into a company and would provide a workshop like time management or something similar. There's such a need right now for sales training. I hear it from everybody, whether it's a nonprofit or a corporate CEO just talking about that. It's like a 4-letter word now for sales. And so if you had different people, not just from one company in the room, would that count? Or you would have to be a specific company you would have to do it with that company?
No, well, I can tell you for funded training, we love consortiums. We love bringing employers together to create a consortium. You're talking my language. So that can absolutely happen. But even better, if we were doing the conflict trainings or any of the timeliness trainings, that's non-funded training. So yeah, you could have as many people in the room as possible, as long as those HR managers are able to relay to us the roster of their classes, the roster of their individuals in that class, along with their social. It can be protected, password protected. We understand all of that stuff. It's just we need to be able to document who's receiving training from TWC.
Okay. That's good to know. Jennifer, that would help y'all, but too, in the real estate business, I think they have some sales.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I'm gonna give you an example. We were working with the ISD in Stafford, and they were asking us, they were hiring a bunch of police officers to now do school policing. And they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't know if these guys are gonna come in too rough. They're dealing with elementary kids. We gotta give them some basics on how we do customer service. We didn't know at Workforce Solutions how we can effectively train police officers on customer service. So we took our current curriculum that we had, showed the employer, and we just critiqued it to deal with elementary students. They loved it. The police officers loved it. The police officers, we were able to open up their mind. There's a lot of interaction in these classes. And I think what we're doing now is in these Zoom classes, we're even making sure there's activities for acknowledgement that they're getting the points. So we will absolutely plan it around you. We did not have anything on the bookshelf that was helping police officers become accustomed to students, but we did it with the counselors there at that school. So I don't want there to be something on the in your mind that thinks, oh no, they can't train on that, or that's so specific to our industry. Maybe you have a corporate trainer that has enough curriculum to help us bookend any messages that you're giving to staff. That's another way for us to really help some of those trainings set in. So sales training, we can definitely help with that. We have to give our staff sales training to be able to connect with 28,000 employers in a year. So they have to know their stuff when they're outreaching. So we would love to just listen to you guys on any sales issues that you may be having and see if we can come up with something mutual.
Thank you.
I think it's amazing. I'm so glad that we're able to bring this, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it on a much bigger scale. I know Susan was talking about the board. HR Roundtable is another great place for you. And also, I also know, Michael, you've also mentioned that some of these programs could work with temp to hire programs, so staffing companies as well, probably. So I think there's so many avenues for us to get the word out there. But just so grateful to Workforce Solutions and Lone Star that these are available. And if there's any other questions, would love to hear them. I know we're getting right at 1 o'clock, so I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So, I just want to thank everyone. And again, Michael and Connor, thank you so much. This is amazing work that you both do. So, really appreciate that. And if you look on the screen right now, we do have their contact information. So if you want to jot down a phone number or an email, you can do that so that you can reach either Michael or Connor. And I know for a fact that they're both working all through COVID, so you can reach them. And so please reach out to them with your questions. And so just in closing, on behalf of the Greater Houston Women's Chamber, I just want to thank Lone Star College for partnering with us on the Small Business Series. And I also want to let you know that the Greater Houston Women's Chamber is still connecting, we're networking, and we're forging new relationships during this time. And we really want you to join us. So again, please visit ghwcc.org to learn more about ways you can get connected. And if there's not any other questions or anything from anyone, we appreciate you all being here. And we hope to hear from you and see you again. So thanks, everybody. Make it a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.